All right, so we are live. Welcome back to the Culture Guys. We're 2 days away from Euro 2020. A little change of plans, a last minute podcast here on the Culture Guys with Adriano Donardo, Gianni Delicoli, and we have special guest all the way from Toronto, the one, the only Angelo from Tdot Italians. Angelo, how's it going?
Not bad, guys. How's it going?
We're pumped, Ange. We're
Pretty
pumped.
good.
We're getting ready.
Look at this. So anybody, head over to our YouTube channel. We got it all live. Angelo was such a gracious guy to come on, even though it's Euro season. He's still pressing shirts. He's still at the shop. He's still working hard. So we definitely do appreciate him taking the time to even come on with us and to talk culture, to talk Azzurri. So Ange, what jerseys are you pressing there? What's on the menu for right now?
Right now we're doing Verratti's, but Verratti, Barella, Insigne. I was seeing 14s in my dream last night because I was doing all Chiesa yesterday. I just don't know if he's gonna start.
Perfect. So talking about lineup starts, I guess we'll dive right into it, guys. Obviously, we're 2 days away from Euro 2020 kicking off. Italy, Turkey at the Olimpico. I wanted to kind of just break down that game, that matchup, that initial game of the tournament, and Italy's lineup. We've seen many changes. Where do you guys see Italy going with in terms of lineups? And in terms of selections by Mancini for this game against Turkey, Joe, what do you think?
Well, I honestly think that the lineup they're going to go with is probably going to be more or less the standard lineup. I don't think Turkey's the type of team that you would risk maybe playing some inexperienced players to get their feet wet, so to speak. I mean, it's possible. You could probably start off with Bastoni, let's say. I don't see Raspadori started at any point. I think Raspadori actually gets a substitution in that game. That's my personal opinion. But I think our front three is probably going to go with Insigne, Immobile, and probably Chiesa. Honestly, maybe even Berardi. But I think more Chiesa before Berardi. How about you guys?
What do you think?
What do you guys think the back four is going to be? I think they're going to go with the same lineup as the Czech Republic.
Yeah,
so the four that they had there, even though Bonucci and Chiellini are older.
Yeah,
I still think they'll start just because of the experience they have, and then the right back and left back will be the same. But is Verratti back from injury? I didn't even see. Is he
I haven't seen any news either for it, actually.
I saw him train on his own.
I think this. I want Chiesa to start, but I think that's going to be the surprise that Berardi's going to start over him for some reason.
You know what? That's why we wanted to bring it up.
I mean, I don't see a reason why he wouldn't start.
Bastoni's great. Bastoni should start too, but there's something with Chiellini and Bonucci. If you play them separately, they're completely two different players. You put Bonucci on, he's confused that where's Chiellini. And Chiellini can actually play alone, but then after if you put Chiellini, if you can put Chiellini with someone else, but if you put Bonucci there just alone with someone else, it's he's completely lost. I don't know why. He doesn't play how he should,
Yeah, no, and
that's a great point. Especially in a tournament.
Weeks ago. Yeah. No, you're right. I think we mentioned it last week or 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, you guys were talking about
it. Yeah, we were talking about it. I don't remember when it was, if it was last week or the week before, but Chiellini can play with other people, with other players. I don't think Bonucci can, like Angelo said. I would like to see Chiellini Bastoni, but I just don't know how well that will like I don't know. I just don't know if like that will be the initial plan of action going into the tournament. So I think when Angelo said about back four, I think obviously Gijo in goal. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say Chiellini Bastoni, even though I know it's gonna be Chiellini Bonucci. I guess it's gonna be Spinazzola on the left with Florenzi on the right. It's the mid two that's a bit concerning to me. I'm not sure.
There's so many I actually
I want to be there, but I don't think you'll be ready.
The best midfield in the tournament, I think. No, it's crazy to say, but when it comes to the midfield, I think we have the best midfield in the tournament. But I just don't understand why. Like, let's just say, for example, if we had a coach as Antonio Conte, I would actually play the 3-5-2 with this lineup because we got midfielders that can play in every position. You know?
I see where you're going with that.
You know what I'm trying to say? Like, it's hard to pick. It's hard to pick the three. It's hard to pick the three.
You could do that if the matchup you're going to be going up against calls for a deeper mid or like more guys in the mid. Even if you want to use like let's say Chiesa as one of the right wing backs in the midfield position and whatnot, it's possible. They do have the players that can do that. It's just it would have to be called for when the matchup calls for it, in my personal opinion. Because the reason why is because we're still used to the 4-3-3, and these players are still meshing well with the 4-3-3. That to like just swap it up to a 3-5-2, if you're not prepared for it, can just put you like upside down. So but we do. But I agree on the point that you say that we do have the mid for it, though. We have a very very deep midfield. That's our strength going into this tournament. For once, you know, it's weird to say. Like in my opinion, I don't know about what you think, Ange, but I think like. For once, our defense is probably the weakest point. I'm not saying it's bad, but I'm just saying it's like our weakest point of the lineup. What do you think?
I think the weakest is actually the forwards, to be honest. Like, I think we can hold the D, but I think our problem is going to be like when we go deeper into the tournament. If we do pass the group stage, I think we're going to have a problem scoring compared to like holding it at a 0-0. You know what I mean? Like Immobile's got to start to finish. So,
but I think we have other options up top to score. You know, I don't think it's going to be all on Immobile. I think we have other options. We saw Chiesa
for sure.
Juventus. We saw Insigne with Napoli step up. You know, our mids can score as well. Barella, you know, he's just fantastic players. So I think it's going to be an accumulation of players coming together on the attacking front. It's not just going to be the front three, if that makes sense.
Do you think they're going to stick with that, with this 4-3-3, like each game, or do you think they're going to actually just switch it up and put two at the top two? We haven't really seen that, right?
Yeah, no, I think Mancini is kind of set in his ways. I think, you know, he's kind of that, I don't want to say old school manager because he's brought a new life to this team, but I think he's just set with this 4-3-3. He's seen it work for, 27 games unbeaten, you know what I mean? So, in this whole run that they've been on. And again, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, I guess. But I guess we'll have to see like later on into the tournament, if and when we do get there. So I don't know. I think like it would be interesting to see a 3-5-2, but I think we'll see 4-3-3, and we'll stick with that, like ride or die kind of thing. Johnny, what do you think?
As I said before, I like Andrew's suggestion of the 3-5-2 because we do have a midfield that's able to do it. But I'm not. I just personally think that it should only be used if necessary. Like if we're playing against another team that has a deep midfield or we need to outmatch their midfield, like the 4-3-3 should be like we'd be safe. Throughout, like I think, in my personal opinion, the only matchup you probably want to use the 3-5-2 is probably against France. It's considering that their midfield, considering that their midfield is as good as ours. If you want to,
you can break down the wings and then work them in the mid, right? So
and especially that you got Mbappe on the wings and he's man that can also play on the same side. Like you want to make sure. Sorry, my chair is falling down. You want to make sure that like you have the guys that are there to stop them before they make those runs, because like that's how they won the World Cup. You had Giroud sucking in the center backs. He's doing his job. He pretty much doesn't have to score. He doesn't have to score the goals, but he can just simply, distract the defense and opens up space for the wingers, and they won a World Cup that way. Even though Giroud didn't score a goal, they still got the title at the end, and that's what counts. So if you're going to play against a team like that has strength on the sides, I can see a 3-5-2. But I think they're going to go with what they've been using this entire time because it's what they know, a 4-3-3. And I think it's going to work out well for us, honestly, too. I don't think I see any formation changes in the group stages, but it is a
same lineup too.
Yeah,
I see the same lineup too. Yeah, I don't see them changing, but I don't know. It's even a risk if they were to face a top team to change the lineup because then it's a completely different change for them. They might even screw up, right? Like then go back to the 4-3-3 mid game, something like that, right?
They could, yeah,
so
but
we don't want that to happen.
No, exactly. What do you think of the whole Donnarumma saga going into it?
Sorry, what were you saying?
The whole,
I didn't hear you.
What do you think about the whole Donnarumma saga with going into the tournament with the whole issue with AC Milan and not signing now? He might. I don't think it's been confirmed yet with PSG, but it's almost done, type of thing.
I have a friend in Milan, and he actually lives right near him, and it's pretty much a done deal. But 12 million is a lot of fucking money.
It is.
Like he wouldn't
Apparently,
go
Roma
for,
might be.
It was funny when I think Juve offered him. Was it like 7? I can't remember what it was. There was a rumor 7 and free transfer, something like that. Yeah, and then after he just wanted 12. Like he was set on 12, even with Milan.
That's Mino whispering in his ears. You can get 12. You can get 12. Ask for 12, type of, because he knows that there's going to be a team out there that's going to give him that 12 million. And look what happened.
Look what happened from like loyalty of a goalie from Buffon to Donnarumma, right?
Well, I mean,
like
Buffon.
Speaking of Italian goalkeepers, right?
Yeah, I mean, like Buffon did go to PSG because he didn't think Juve had a Champions League quality anymore.
Yeah, he just wanted more playing time, right?
Yeah, and he also wanted to push for that CL title. But I'm happy that at least this is getting done right before the tournament starts because it's such a big thing to have on your mind.
With a good mindset, right?
Yeah, because exactly. Imagine just like you're not signed yet, you're still in the middle of contract negotiations, but you're playing in a major tournament. Like, I don't know about you, but me personally, like that would definitely be in the back of my mind while it's going on.
Yeah, for sure, you'd be thinking of that. They probably already know what's happening, right?
Yeah, exactly. And I think Angelo brought up a good point about the mindset. We know Gigio is kind of mentally weak. Especially with this whole contract situation. Mino controls him. Whatever you want to label it as, he's not doing his own. He's not making his own decisions. He's mentally weak. So if this gets done, like you guys were just saying, before the tournament starts, or even just at the beginning, portion of the tournament, I think Gigio would, have a clear head and be able to play at his top abilities because we need him to be at that level going into this tournament because he's the now and the future of the Italian national team. We've said it time and time again on this show. And we need him to be 100%. Come Friday, and however far Italy go in the tournament. But Ange,
without a goalie, we won't go far.
Well, it takes 11 on the pitch. 26 men that are off on this tournament to come together to make something special. But it starts from top to bottom, guys. Like we all know that we've seen. In tournaments past, it's really not. It can't be only about one player. I think that's why in this tournament, so many people are excited because we have such a close knit group of players that really fight and play for each other. And I think many fans can appreciate that, and many fans can see that as this team really wants to do something special this summer. But really previewing the game on Friday against Turkey, like, Ange, does Turkey scare you at all? Is Turkey a surprise team that can really cause Italy some problems? Like, how do you make How do you what do you make of that game on Friday?
I don't think they'll cause too many problems, but we got to go out there as strong as we can every game. Doesn't matter what team it is, right? But like my prediction is that I think we'll be able to win, or at least like probably scoreless. I don't think Turkey's going to score.
Okay. So you think we got them locked on defense, and it's up to us to score on the other end?
That's what I think. I think it's going to be more so our second game. Going into our second game is going to be like if we win our first, the confidence boost is going to be high, and then Italy's second game is always an up and down. They always leave us at the third. They always do that.
and Johnny brought that up, I think, last week. Johnny, anything else you want to add to that?
Well, not really. Like I predicted last week that we finished second in our group because Italy likes to give us these heart attacks and keep us sweating right until the end, as usual. I thought that I feel like this game is probably gonna be like another I think it was New Zealand back in 2010? Was it New Zealand where it was just like we got an early goal and then they just parked the bus. They literally put 10 guys in front of the keeper and we have to rely on a penalty shot just to draw 1-1. I get vibes that it's actually going to be something like that. And as I said in last week, I don't think our team's incapable of winning. I don't think that at all. It's just more like we always have bad luck in the group stages, and it's always a bit of a grind to get out of it. So I think
once they get out of it, it will be a lot better.
Yeah.
Like they'll build confidence, right?
Exactly. That's how Italy usually is. They're like a steam engine, you know. Like you got to feed the coal, you got to get it started, and once it gets going, it's going. But you have to start feeding it early on.
They always make us suffer the first 3 games. So,
well, that's why I'm sticking a bit more optimistic. I think they can win and score more than one. I'm going to say maybe like a 2-1 type of game. I really do think that they can do it, and I think they can start off strong. And I think they need to start off strong because they're starting off the tournament. I know there's a lot of pressure. They're the first game. They're playing in Rome. There's going to be fans, which we haven't seen in over a year. So yeah, there is a lot of pressure, but I think this team has, like I said, the unity and the firepower to be able to come out and perform. We've seen it in past, and I think we'll see it, come Friday, and hopefully throughout the group stage games. We got here on YouTube our boys from Pizza Calcio, Billy. I'm having nightmares of an early Çalhanoğlu goal. I don't know. We'll see. I know Çalhanoğlu plays different for Turkey. Exactly. I know he plays different for Turkey than Milan. But I don't know. If it's a 2-1 game, maybe Çalhanoğlu scores. But I think Italy has enough to outpower that and outmuscle that and get the victory. And like I said, start off on the right foot.
Like they're not
my prediction for the first game is I would say 2-0 Italy. That's my prediction.
2-0 or 0-0, like you said.
Yeah.
Is that like the opposite spectrum?
I'm feeling more the 2-0 and a tie in the second game. I really don't think they're winning that second game.
Okay.
I don't know why, but that's my feeling.
It's a fair prediction to give.
No, I
honestly would rather them not win both games, so then they go into the third game having to win. So then the momentum of the players are still there. I don't want to go into our third game and then everybody's like half the team's benched, and then we're going into like the next round with, how they're like, they feel rested. Like, keep the momentum up.
That makes sense if we win our first 2. If we win our first 2,
yeah. Remember when we faced Ireland
I like the point that he brings
2016 and we lost 3-1?
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't the point of losing, but it was just the momentum that just completely dropped.
Yeah, no, I agree, and it's a good point because it's like it's fine to be. I don't know how to word it. Like you can't be too rested. I guess if that makes sense. Like these guys need to be on their toes. This is a young squad. They need to be ready at all times. I think the mentality has to be there from the get-go. So again, I think it'll be tough. Like I don't think it's going to be a smooth ride, but I do think they'll be able to obviously come out. I personally think they'll come out first in the group. Johnny I mentioned last week that he thinks that they'll finish second. Angelo, do you think it's a failure if they don't finish first in the group, or like how do you think about that?
Yeah, I think it's a complete failure if they don't. With this team, you can't finish second. You got to finish first. I think they'll get out of the group with 7 points. That's
7 points.
My prediction, but low scoring though, like 2-0, 1-0, like nothing crazy.
No, that's fair. I think many people would probably, I would think, agree with that. I know, like I said, Johnny mentioned last week.
I mean, realistically, it would be better if we do finish second realistically, because then I did the bracket, and on the bracket we actually have an easier road to the final.
Well, no, we'll face the winner of one of the groups. Actually, the other groups have finished second. Let me take a look at the bracket.
Yeah, so if you take a look at the bracket, we can basically, if France finishes first, we can meet up with them come semis.
Hold on, let me see here. Just give me a quick second. I'm pulling it up now.
But then if we finish first,
if we finish first, it's going to be hard team.
Netherlands or something, or Ukraine or something, depending.
Ukraine, and then it could be Belgium after, then France after.
So if we finish second, runner-up Group A. Oh, we play the runner-up of Group B. So if we finish second, we play the runner-up of Denmark, Finland, Belgium, and Russia.
There you go.
So it wouldn't be so bad.
It's not too bad.
But again, I think it's a tournament setting, guys. Like I think like if we're starting to kind of predict who's gonna play who, I think we're gonna go a bit crazy. I think again the games are played on the pitch, right? They're not played on UEFA.com, right? So I think no, but it's for real. I think we need to be pumped, and I'm good. I'm looking here. I see again Billy from Pizza Calcio. He writes, games in Rome with fans have to get the players pumped up. And what do you make of the obviously Rome? I think it's 25% capacity, about 18,000 fans in the stadiums. Like I said, first time in a long time. Do you think that's like an added bonus for the squad? Is it going to put on too much pressure? Like what do you make about the fans being in the Olimpico?
You're gonna laugh, but if they don't win in their home city, it's gonna be vergogna, man. It's gonna be brutal. I remember in 2002 when they came back from Korea, when they lost.
Yeah,
they were throwing pomodori at Fiumicino.
Jesus Christ!
At the players.
So imagine if they don't pull through in Rome. But you think it's obviously a positive thing though, Andrew, right? Like I think it's a good sign.
At least finally there's fans, right?
Yeah. Do you think it'll
I think it'll boost up
pressure?
their
Do you think
momentum
it'll help them? Like
I think it'll help them because it's not even a huge crowd, right? So it's just like a subtle crowd, which will get them pumped up, right? If it's, I don't know, if the whole stadium is full, it might be a little bit, that will put a lot more pressure,
I think it's like, is it 20% capacity, 25% capacity?
Yeah, so it's about 18,000 fans in the Olimpico.
That's still decent. It's still pretty solid. I mean, like if they put them like in the middle layer, I mean, like it's going to be loud enough type of thing.
Yeah, but I think it'll, like Angelo said, I think it will be a subtle boost. I think obviously the Olimpico, I think it holds like about 70,000. So with only 18,000 people, I think they'll hear it. I think they'll feel the support. I would hope that they are excited to have fans back in the stadium. We haven't seen it in so long, right? So. And again, I think they want to perform well for not only the fans in attendance, but for Azzurri fans, around the world. So I think they'll be ready come Friday. But What else did we want to talk about? Yeah, like Ange, who's like the player to watch out for in your opinion?
Like the surprise, you mean? Like of Italy?
Yeah, surprise player. Italy's go-to guy. Like what do you make of like our difference makers for Italy?
I think everything's gonna revolve around Barella in the mid.
Barella?
That's what I think. Yeah.
Do you think
as for like scoring wise, I don't think we're gonna have like a goal scorer. I think the goals are gonna just come from wherever they come from, as long as they go in the net. I don't think we'll have a.
There you go.
I don't think we'll have a goal scorer. Like I don't see Mobile popping in 6 goals, for example, right?
That's fair.
Yeah, that's just typical Italy.
Like maybe one day we'll see one from Chiellini, one from Berardi, something like that.
That's just how we do. We're never a type of team that has never. I mean, like it's extremely rare that we have those like solid goal scorers that take over the team for a tournament. Usually the tournaments that we do very well in scoring is usually spread out. I like your point about Barella, though. I do agree. In the mid, offensively speaking, it's going to come through him. He's got to be one of our best players. And I feel like as if one of the players that actually has a lot of pressure, believe it or not, is not Immobile, but I think Insigne might actually have a lot of pressure right now to perform, considering he's probably the most in-form Italian right now. What do you think about that?
Yeah, he is the most in form. It's just that we haven't really seen him do anything crazy for the Nazionale, right? So it'd be great to see him score for sure. I know he scored against Czech, and it was a friendly, but it's nothing really too crazy, right? I want to see him like lighten up in the tournament.
Mm-hmm. You want to see him good old running from the left, cut to the right, use the right foot, top corner.
Top corner.
The good old bread and butter.
But I don't. I think he's going to be more of like not a trequartista role, but more like
free flowing,
be passing the ball around and stuff like that. I don't think he's going to be going in there to like score.
No, that's fair. But again, on the Barella point, I think, and just in the midfield, like we were talking a bit earlier, you mentioned Verratti, Ange, and I think I saw today he was training or practicing away from the group. So many people want to speculate that he won't be starting on Friday against Turkey. If that is the case, is it an automatic Barella, Jorginho, Locatelli? Like, is that where we're going with the mids? In your opinion?
That's what it looks like. What do you guys think about Locatelli, though? Like, do you think he's too young to be starting in that position like right away?
Well, first off, if Verratti's if the speculations are right and Verratti is not like ready to go for Friday's game, I think we don't really have much of a choice but to go Locatelli, because I think putting Pellegrini in there, like, I think he's a good player. I don't know if he's what we need in that midfield. Like, I don't know. I think we saw Locatelli come in a bit more, especially now down the stretch, and I think Mancini is a bit more comfortable with having him there. So, look, I know many people are high on Locatelli. I'm not doubting his talent. I think he's a good player. He's improved a lot. He's matured a lot. And if it takes him playing the first group game to get his feet wet and to really emerge, then so be it. I just don't think, like, I'm not comfortable putting Cristante. For me, Pessina and Pellegrini kind of give me the same type of vibe and feeling. So I don't know if Mancini would go that direction. So for me, I think it's more of an obvious selection of Locatelli in that midfield, but I don't mind him as a player. Again, I think he's made leaps and bounds at Sassuolo. I know many Juve fans want him at Juventus. We saw him at Milan, with some sparks of brilliance too, and he kind of grew up there too. So, I think I'm comfortable having Locatelli in the mid come Friday at 3:00. Johnny, what do you think?
I'm okay with Locatelli too. Honestly speaking, I have faith in the guy. I mean, it would suck to not have Verratti if he's going to be the one that's going to be in besides Verratti. But with the mid that we got, I mean, It's solid. I like I said, I think we boast one of the best mid right now because we do have other options. Like even if you want to, if by some divine intervention you have no choice to put like a forward in the mid, that's why he brought a lot of the choices that he did because there's some very flexible options. I see your point what you said about the Pessina. Pellegrini, I think, is more solid in the credit you give him. Like I think that if like let's say they don't put Locatelli and they put Pellegrini, I would still be okay.
Yeah, I would.
So, but for sure, if out of the three of Verratti, Jorginho, and Barella, if there's one, the first sub that's going to be made, it's always going to be Locatelli in the mid. It's always if he's the first, he's the next in line, and it's like, and I would still be okay with it. It would suck not having Verratti. Don't get me wrong, but I'd be okay.
Now, what if you had to remove? What if you had to remove Verratti and Locatelli? Who would you put in there? I would put Pessina, but I don't know.
Yeah,
I have a bit of a bias. I have a bit of a bias.
Yeah. If we had to remove both Verratti and Locatelli, yeah, I mean, I think it's Pellegrini for me. I think it's Pellegrini for me, but I also do like what Pessina brings.
It's only because he's been having a good season. That's why. Exactly.
And the experience he's had, in Champions League, he's playing some big games. I think he has that swagger about him a bit. So, he kind of has maybe a chip on his shoulder. He was cut and then he came back because of Sensi's injury. So, if he plays with a bit of fire, a bit of a chip on the shoulder, I would like to see that. And I think he brings some flexibility in the mid. He can score. And, like Angelo's been saying, and like we've all been saying, guys, if we're not getting goals from our attack, I have no problem getting some goals from our mids as well. And I think our mids are capable of putting some balls in the back of the net. If it be, any of them really, I think any of them can really contribute.
I mean, I would definitely, like, if I had to choose, however speaking, but Pellegrini would be the better option. But I would just try out Pessina just because he's having a good season and just to see how he does, right?
Would you start him like right off the bat? Would you like let him
no.
group stage games? Like where would you see him coming in or when? Sorry.
When?
When or like at what point in the tournament?
That's a tough question. I would say maybe if someone gets injured.
Or even as a sub, and just to kind of bring a different spark.
Yeah, I don't think he'll come in as a sub, but he could possibly come in. You never know. Like we don't know the exact tactics that Mancini has, right? Maybe because he initially didn't even call him on the team, right? He came in because Sensi left. Now, What's your opinion? Do you think Sensi should be there over Pessina though, or no?
Healthy, yes. I obviously injured, no. Like there's no use bringing up a guy who whether it's like he's leaning more towards not playing at all than risking him. You know what I mean? Like with his injury and everything. But like a healthy.
Yeah, I'm saying if he wasn't injured, yeah.
Yeah, if he's healthy and on form and everything's like good to go for Sensi, I would have brought in Sensi. But you know what? I think I would have brought in Sensi and Pessina, and I would have gotten rid of Cristante. Because for me, Cristante, I don't want to say waste of a roster spot, but I'm not keen on that on that selection personally. I don't know what Johnny has to say.
No, I mean, like I'm not keen on it either. But like Sensi just has one of the worst lucks has the worst luck in the world. This guy can't catch a break.
Verratti 2.0.
I mean, you could say that. Like it's. I don't know what it is exactly with him because he does have
the talent.
A lot of skill. He's great. But it's just the bad luck. It's because obviously if Sensi wasn't injured, he would be like, if anything, the like a 3C, like a 3B option of out of the three between like Verratti, Jorginho, and Barella. Like he would like you can easily put him on, and you still probably have the same effect. So I mean, it's unfortunate going because Brian like this year really was out of form. Mind you, he was playing a position that he wasn't really used to. Like there was games he was playing center back, and he's not a natural center back. He's more of a defensive mid. So desperation times for Roma. That's basically what it was. I don't have much faith in him. That's why I said, but from Pellegrini, like he would be, or Locatelli, like obviously Locatelli over Pellegrini, but it's crappy because that Inter mid with if they would have had Sensi with Barella, I think would have been like much stronger than what it was this year.
Yeah, for sure. It's unfortunate Zaniolo can't be there.
That too, but I'm actually happy with that.
That's another guy.
Because I'm actually happy with that because why risk? You already have a nagging injury, and he always come back too soon, and he always comes back too early, and he gets injured, and he's out for a long period of time. I'm okay with him saying, I'm going to sit out this tournament so I can be fully 100% for the start of next season, and then for the World Cup next year, he'll be in form. Like, I think that kind of helps with his decision making, knowing that the World Cup is next year. Like he can sacrifice them now, and he's still very young, so it's not like as if we're not going to see Zaniolo ever again on the national team. Like his career just hasn't even started yet with the national team.
Yeah, for sure.
But like now going towards the attack, you know, we kind of mentioned, or Ange kind of mentioned that he thinks it's going to be the same lineup come Friday as we saw against the Czechs in that last friendly game. The front three, like Johnny, like do you think it's going to be the same? Do we go a different route? Like, because I personally think, like I don't know, I was a fan of that southern front, like Insigne, Immobile, Berardi, like the two Nabuadan and the Calabrese. I don't know. I was a fan of it. Like, I know Chiesa's been on form, and I know Chiesa's had, you know, a hell of a season, and I do think he will feature a lot in this tournament. But I don't know. I kind of liked what I saw with Insigne, Immobile, Berardi. Like, what do you think about that, Ja?
I would lean more towards the Insigne, Immobile, and Berardi, only because I feel like, especially with what Chiesa has gone through with Juve, he's taking a bit more of a defensive-minded approach to things now. As weird as it sounds, like he's still capable of scoring goals. Like he's still the guy who can turn it on offensively when you need him to. Yeah, he tracks back, which is nice. I feel like as if you go Chiesa, if like you realize that your mid or defense is being a bit sloppy, and Berardi's probably not the safest choice, so you swap him out for Chiesa, let's say. But if you want to get in quick and you want to get those early goals, or even if you want to apply all of that offensive pressure, you go Berardi. I feel like as if Berardi and Insigne, they both know that like when to actually give the ball to Immobile to try to make him push for the goal, or when to actually take the shot because they have the opportunity. Like, I feel like those two players right there are confident enough to make those type of decisions, which is crucial, especially in a tournament where one game is everything type of thing. Like, you need those guys to, when they're in the heat of the moment and they have to make that split-second decision, they make the right decision. Let's just say, for lack of 80% of the time. Like, you're never gonna be perfect the entire tournament, but you know what I mean. Like, when you need to pull the trigger, they're not afraid to pull the trigger.
Yeah, definitely. I think those will be the top, like their starting three. I think Chiesa will come on as a super sub, but if he does come on and score, I wouldn't be surprised if he starts over Berardi in the upcoming games, right?
That's a good point.
Let's just say we're at 0-0 and Chiesa comes on for Berardi and he scores. I wouldn't be surprised if he starts him after.
Or vice versa. Like, I think that works. Like, I think that works like either way. Like, if it's Chiesa who starts on Friday, right? You know what I mean? Like, if it's Chiesa that starts Friday or Berardi, and either of them don't score, and one comes on as a super sub and scores, like I'm just saying, I think I can see either of them, you know, like I said, vice versa, you know, flip-flopping for the next game and so on and so forth. And I think sometimes in these tournaments, you kind of ride what's hot, and, you know, obviously you need a bit of luck, but I think, you know, if you ride what's hot and, you know, and you have the options up front, I think. I know everybody likes to nag about our attack. We can't score. We can't do this. Immobile Fashkiva, you can't score, whatever. Okay, fine. But I think we do have the options, like, in the attack that can contribute. So, you know, if it's not Chiesa, if it's not Berardi, it'll be one or the other. Like, where do you now? A lot of people and a lot of Juve fans I see bring up the point about Bernardeschi. Now he comes out to play with the national team, whereas he doesn't for Juventus. And we know that you are. I mean, guys, correct me if I'm wrong, but you are a Juve fan.
I am a Juve fan. Yeah.
You are a Juve fan.
He does
So
play
what do you
better.
make
He
of?
does play. He plays better for the
Bernardeschi?
Nazionale than Juve. That's for sure.
Does he make an impact in our attack in the Euros?
No, not at all. I
No?
don't think so.
Okay. Okay. not at all. Okay. But like, I don't know. Like,
I've watched him play so many times, and it's like you put him in the like if he's taking corner kicks, can't even lift the ball.
Yeah.
Like he did like 7, like in I forgot when it was, one of the qualifying games for Italy. He was always at the corner kick, couldn't lift the ball up, right?
Yes.
So I don't know. He's basically like a hit and miss on a daily game basis. You know, like he could have a great game, or if he can just play really crap. So
Yeah.
that's
no,
in my opinion.
I agree. No, I agree. I
mean, he did have one really great year for Juve, and then after he just declined.
Yeah.
Like we thought he was going to be a superstar.
I think Chiesa kind of took over that role, or that stigma, especially at Juventus. You know, this season especially. So, but again, it's a different animal when you put on the Azzurri kit, and we've seen it with many players.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, in Bernardeschi's defense, like I'm not like we've had discussions before. In case you didn't know that, like 3 years ago, like we had an argument of who's better, Chiesa, Bernardeschi, and like this was like late 2018, and I'm like Chiesa, and obviously over time, Chiesa ended up being more of the guy for Juve right now than Bernardeschi. But in Bernardeschi's defense, I just feel like as if he just wasn't used by Juve, and like post Ventura era for Italy. I mean, like Bernardeschi was playing as the false 9, and he was doing really well. Like I felt like he played solid. So, do you think maybe like this Euro we can see a different Berna, and we would probably get like probably like the one from back in the heyday? Where what was that? How many goals did he get one season? What was it, like 15? No, 12? Can't remember.
I can't remember exactly.
But I think it was in the double digits, if I'm not mistaken.
I think so. Yeah. That one season, he was just killing it.
Yeah, but can he be a difference maker, like at any point throughout the tournament, Ange?
I don't think so. No.
No, not at all.
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
He can definitely,
like
I said, he's hit and miss. He can definitely like spark up the team, but if he's going to be like a difference maker in the tournament, I don't think so. No.
So in terms of no, it's a good point, and and a lot of people again we've spoken about it many times already.
Like I don't see him playing. Like if he does come on the pitch, I don't see him playing bad.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah,
he's not horrible.
Yeah, no.
But he will. He's still okay, right, to be there.
Yeah.
Seems like the coaches love him.
Oh yeah, he's got something on Mancini. I don't know what it is, but he's got
something. He had something
in
the chamber
too. So. Yeah, exactly. He got something in the chamber on these managers. I don't know what it is.
Don't know why the fuck he kept starting for Juve, man. I don't know why.
Yeah, but you know what? Talking about players that we're not sure. Like we mentioned it before. Like Raspadori, for example. He's a guy that came on to the shock of many people. Obviously omissions of Keane, Politano. We spoke about this before, Ange, but kind of just wanted to get your takes on this. Just before the tournament kicks off. Like, were you surprised about those omissions? Like, do you think from the guys that we got called up, we could have used some of those guys like Keane, Politano, maybe some other names?
I just think Keane should have been there over Raspadori for sure.
I think many people would agree.
I think he's a bit of a difference maker, even if he doesn't start, comes off the bench. He adds a little bit of fire to the team,
Yeah.
Like, that's that spark that we need. So,
yeah.
I don't even know if Raspadori gets any playing time, right? Like, it'd be
That's
really
a
funny if he
problem.
comes on the field and scores.
Yeah,
right.
no, it would shut a lot of us up, that's for sure. And you know what? I hope he does. For the sake of the fucking team, I hope he would.
I'll have to buy Raspadori names.
Yeah, you better get cracking over there. You gotta start pressing some 22 Raspadori over there.
Yeah.
But Ja, what do you like? Obviously, we mentioned it before. If you had anything else to add,
I agree. I would rather Keane over Raspadori. What I like about Keane, as I said last week, is that Keane has that flexibility to play on the right, or if you need to put him in the middle, you can put him in the middle. Because we've seen it in qualifiers and in friendlies and stuff. That's what he was doing. Raspadori, I think the reason why he's been called up is that they probably see something that we don't. That probably Raspadori is maybe a very key player for the future for the national team. And out of all the players to bring up to get that international tournament experience, they felt like Raspadori was more deserving of it, like just to get his understand what it means to play in this type of competition. Immobile has played in this type of competition before. Insigne has as well. These are players that when I say playing in major tournaments, Donnarumma, I believe it's his first ever tournament, and obviously you're not gonna exempt him from the roster and stuff. And if you look at the roster overall, more or less, a lot of these players have played in a major tournament before, like in 2016, more or less. So I think Raspadori was brought up just
as for starting 11.
Sorry?
You're saying?
Sorry?
Or just in general? Are you saying as for the 23 players, or how many do you think are? Well, how many were from 2016? I'm trying to remember. Or
So
half of them?
Let me actually look up the 2016 roster right now.
I think Nick brought it up last week,
was there.
Six or seven, I think it was. I think Nick brought it up last week. I think it might have been 6 or 7.
Hold on, we got one. Oh, Donnarumma was part of the 2016 squad. Really?
No, I don't think so.
Unless Google's wrong here. No, hold on.
It was what? Chiellini, Bonucci,
So here we go.
Insigne, Florenzi.
So we got Chiellini, we have Florenzi, we have Immobile, we have Bonucci, Insigne, Bernardeschi.
That's 6.
Bernardeschi is there, right?
Yeah, Bernardeschi,
I think that's
Insigne,
about 6.
2, Bonucci, 3. Sirigu 4, if you want to count Sirigu, obviously. Immobile 5, Florenzi 6, and Chiellini 7.
So 7. Okay, sorry.
Yeah, but when almost all of them are going to be on the starting roster besides Sirigu, starting lineup, like I said, I think Raspadori is just brought to be just to get a taste of it, just to actually get that national team cap underneath his belt. And also, if you want to bring him during the group stage, you want to put him on as a 70th minute, 75th minute sub in a game that you're up 2-0, just to get him to say he participated, then sure. Like I said, they probably see something that we don't. He did have a good U21 Euros. Unfortunately, most of the days that they played, I was working, so I didn't get a chance to see him actually. But given to what people have told me, I mean, they said that he had a small tournament, so I hope it's true. I'm gonna reserve judgment on him. I don't know about you guys, but I'm just gonna say I'm not gonna say it's a bad choice or a good choice. I'm just playing devil's advocate, trying to figure out the reasons why they brought him, and let's see from there, type of thing.
Yeah, but I mean, listen. I think if you can come on as a sub at any point and even cause some trouble for opponents' defenses, I have no problem, guys. You know what I mean? Whatever it takes. If he needs to come on, if he puts on a good performance, I mean, I don't care. At this rate, I put everything aside. So what that he's never been called up? So what? He's only 21 years old. Again, I don't agree with the whole Paolo Rossi comparison from Mancini. From the late Paolo Rossi, but I think that's kind of a stretch. But again, if he can come on and make an impact, of any sort, I think it's positive for the Azzurri, and I think it's positive because
I agree.
Again,
it's the exact same.
You know what I mean? Like, because we know our attack, like we mentioned, like we've seen, you go on Twitter, social media, it's hit or miss, So if it is hit or miss during the tournament, and it takes a guy like Raspadori, like a Berardi, like a Bernardeschi, like some of these guys to come on and make a difference, you know what? So be it, guys. I think every fan will take that, every day of the week. You know what I mean? So at first I was pissed. I would have rather see Keane like 100%, and I didn't like the whole, him getting left out. We spoke about it before, so I don't really want to bring that back up again. But again, like from the players we have, this is it. This is what we have to focus on. This is the players that we need to count on, and it starts Friday. And again, like we mentioned earlier, I hope it's we start strong. But I think we got a question from Pizza Calcio. Ange, you brought up that we have, one of the better mids, and I think we can all agree with you. And many people would like to agree with that as well, saying that we have one of the better mids in Europe. I think the Pizza Calcio question was the best positional, position groups. Like, who has the best position groups across Europe and the other European teams in the tournament? Like who's like where do you see like other like Italy's mid like compared to like maybe like a France or I don't know a Germany or other nations? Yeah, I don't know if you have the question in front of you.
Hold on, let me pull it up on my phone. It was the Pizza Calcio question, right?
Yeah.
So best position. So what country has the best defense, best spin, and best attack? Is that that question, right?
Well, we rate Italy's. Well, yeah, we rate Italy's mid quite high. Like, would you say they're the best? In the tournament, would you say there's somebody better? Like, I guess we can break it down.
I mean, as the starting lineup, I think we boast the best mid. In terms of depth, like if let's say like after the top three, we're not as strong as let's say Germany or France, but I would say
Portugal or even Portugal. I think they have a pretty decent one.
Yeah. So, but I would say just from the starting lineup, I think we probably have the best mid.
The best mid in the tournament?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it, for me personally, it's a toss up between Italy and France. I think, when you speak of Conte, Pogba, whoever else they have in their mid, I can't off the top of my head I can't think, but they do have good players and they have top players, and I know Italy has them as well. But again, we still have a question mark with Verratti. Locatelli coming in, does he compare to Pogba or Conte? I don't think so. And what do you think? Like where does Italy's mid rank with other nations in the tournament? Well, I think and I don't think we hear you. Some technical difficulties. Oh, Andrew's off the call.
He's gonna come back.
All right, guys. Yeah.
I mean,
so but like going on, I like going forward, like besides even the mid, like I don't know.
Germany
I
too.
think
Germany too has a fantastic mid. Like they're swamped there. So like it's that's what I'm saying. Like if you're gonna go by starting lineup, Italy, but if you're gonna go by depth, like Germany just has if one guy's out, we can just replace him with another quality mid. I like it just to summarize it. But move on. Adrian.
No, but even if we go on to like other positions, like best goalies, I like the goalkeepers, like I would say Donnarumma's like Donnarumma and like our guys are up there.
Yeah, like it's hard to say that Italy, like Donnarumma is not the best goalie going into the tournament. But there's one thing that you can obviously say De Gea for Spain if you want, but given his just tenure and his experience and what he's done. But one thing that worries me about Donnarumma, as I said before, is the whole. Oh, Ange is back. Ange, am I talking just to
Ange is back. Ange is back.
Sorry about those guys.
We got you.
Hey, he's back.
Yeah. I had a phone call come through.
It's all good. It's all good.
Yeah.
It cut
but I would still say
we're just talking.
I was hearing everything. I heard everything.
Oh,
so
okay.
It just wasn't working. Okay. Yeah. I still think we do have the best mid. I still think we do have the best mid in the tournament, but France is up there too, right? Like that's if we were to come against, have to face France in the tournament, it's gonna be a tough one.
It would probably be game of the tournament, in my opinion.
Yeah, 100%.
France, Italy is probably one of the best rivalries.
Or even just midfield battle. Yeah. Or just even midfield battle because everything's won and lost in the mid. Everything's won and lost in the midfield. So I think it would be quite a battle. But we're also just saying this if we do have our normal three of Barella, Jorginho, and Verratti. If it's not with Verratti, you still think Italy's mid is as high as we rate them?
I still think it is, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's tough. I think for me personally,
it's tough. It is tough.
If we saw it in Locatelli, I think we drop.
Yeah, I think we do drop to second. Yeah. I mean, it's tough.
It's tough.
Yeah, it is tough. We do have to see how France does play, though, right?
Yeah.
We'll see how they never know. If they come to the tournament, maybe they'll play different.
Well, their group stage is definitely not going to be an easy one. It's going to be something it's going to be a bloodbath over there. It's not a little in terms of the fight for first, second, and third. But I mean, they're obviously all three teams. Whoever finishes third is probably going to be the strongest third place team to move on out of the four third place teams. But it's going to be crazy in that group stage.
Yeah, that's going to be. How do you guys think that's going to play out? What do you think who do you think is going to get out of that group? Actually France, Germany, Portugal, or do you think there's going to be surprise knockout?
I think.
Well, we spoke about it last week. Yeah, say it again.
I think I said Germany first, France second, Portugal third, if I'm not mistaken. I think that's the prediction I gave.
Yeah, that'd be my prediction too.
Oh, for real? I think, listen, Ange, I think I'm pretty sure I put France, I think it was France, Portugal, Germany. But I said, for the second and third, it can easily flip-flop.
It's a toss-up.
It is a toss-up. In my opinion, the 2 and 3 can flip-flop. And again, I don't think it's if one of those teams have to finish third. So I don't think it's a disappointment because I still think they'll be a top third place team, and I still think that they'll go on, obviously, right? So, and I think we saw Portugal do it in 2016. They were the third place team, and you know what? They went all the way and won. Not saying that's going to happen again, but it's a possibility. And I don't think Portugal has any issue even if they go third and they go the same route as they did back in 2016. So I don't know. I think it'll be tough, but. I think no matter where they fall, the competition outside the group stage is only going to get tougher, and they're going to have to face some good sides. So it's going to be tough. But I guess, Ange, before we let you go and before we wrap this up, I think we got a question, but a loyal follower, Tony Fabri on Instagram. I think he asked, "Is this Italy's year to go all the way? What are your what's your prediction for Italy? Going throughout the tournament, can they win it? Where do they finish if they don't? What's your overall prediction?"
I think we'll do a Final Four finish. That's my prediction.
So in the semis,
I would say semis. Yeah. Whether we finish first or second in the group, I think semis. We have to finish in the semis with this team.
We have to. Wow. Okay.
Yeah. Like we haven't seen in Italy like this in a while, right? 27 consecutive unbeaten games. You
Yeah.
have to finish at least top 4.
Do you think it's a failure if they go out in the quarters, but they put out a good performance and you know what they
No,
go
I
out
don't think
with?
it's a failure.
Okay.
I think if they do go out in the group stage round of 16, then definitely a failure for sure. But if they put up a
Okay.
fight in the quarters, if they go into the quarters, they just get killed 3-0, then yeah, that would be an embarrassment, obviously. But I would like with this team, we should reach the semis. There's no question about it.
Yeah, I
What
agree.
do
I
By the
think
way,
what
we
do
didn't
what do
finish
you what
answering
do
the
you guys
question
think?
before about the.
sorry.
What do you guys think? Like, what do you like top 4?
Well, yeah, I said it
But Johnny,
to
you go
Angelo.
ahead.
I said it to. By the way, just want a side note. We didn't get a chance to finish the entire question. They asked for like which nation has the best defense, best like whatever, and so on and so forth. Just to add to that question quickly from Tdot Calcio, I think the best defense probably Netherlands. You know, even with Van Dijk gone, you still have the Ligt, you still have De Vrij, you still have Ake. Like you still got some solid names in the back over there. We're good in Italy, but we're not as good as like Netherlands, and you can even argue Germany. And in terms of forwards, I think France has the best offense. 100% France has the best offense in the tournament. And
Yeah,
so now to continue back to this original question, I think, like I said last week, this team, for me, it's semifinals. Like, it's too good of a team to be like, oh, if they lose in the quarters, oh, it's okay next time. Like, if you lose in the quarterfinals to a team like France or Germany or like a contender, sure, I'm okay with that because it's a contender. But if you lose in the quarterfinals to no disrespect to, let's say, to the nation, but like Ukraine, let's say, or I don't know, North Macedonia, you know, but like in all seriousness, if you lose to a contender that's supposed to win the Euro Cup or is predicted to win the Euros, fine. But if you're gonna lose to a nation like one of those, it's in my eyes that's a failure. And this team is too good to not reach the semis. And then what happens from there, it happens. It's not gonna be. I don't think. Like if we play against one of those strong teams that were guaranteed winners, but in a one-game scenario, if you make a mistake and you capitalize on it.
Yeah, I think like quarters, semis for me. Like I'm kind of bouncing on that. I'm pushing more towards the semis, but I wouldn't label it all as a failure if they do go out in the quarters. I know I mentioned it last week and in episodes past with our other preview shows, but you know, I don't know. Like again, this team is young. You know, they are a good group, like I've mentioned, and you know they have that unity. So again, for me, I don't want to use it as an excuse, but you know, if they do go out in the quarters, I wouldn't be. I will be upset, but again, it all depends on how they go out. Like we're mentioning, right? Like if they go, you know what I mean? Like if they go out with a fight, fine. If they go out with an embarrassment, I'll obviously be a lot more pissed off. But I don't know. I think, you know, anywhere between quarters and semis. I agree with Ange. You know, if they don't get out of the group or round of 16, for me, that's a complete failure. We've gotten too far with this team. You know,
and we've waited too long.
And we waited too long. That's a good point.
Yeah.
To not get some more satisfaction from this team, and it's not to be, you know, greedy or to be you know, wanting so much. It's just like Ange said, we've waited for this tournament for a long time. We haven't seen, and again, I sound like a broken record, but we haven't seen Italy in a major tournament in 5 fucking years, guys. We need this more than anything, right? So. You know, I'm going to stick with my prediction anywhere between quarters and semis, obviously leaning a bit more towards the semifinals. But I don't know, like, do you think, like many people think, and I've seen on Twitter or just on social media, many people think like we can actually win the whole thing. Like, is that anywhere in the realm of possibility for you, Angelo?
It's going to be very hard. It depends on how they finish in the group, right? If they finish first or second. I just think France is too strong of a team to go up against, to be honest with you.
Okay.
But
what about you?
I do see them going to the finals, but it depends on where they fall in the group, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, Jai, what do you think?
I could see something like I'm not sure if you remember the 2012 Euros, where basically in the quarters that we faced against England. I think it was the quarterfinals we faced. Like I could see something like, yeah, I could see something happening like that again, where we face a good team in the quarterfinals and we beat them, and that gives us the momentum to make it to the finals. But like it's possible. Like the team does have quality. They do have ways to win. What worries me is that there are some players that don't have this international tournament experience. So when it comes down to the line of gut checking, like look what happened in 2016. I know I hate to bring it up, but this was a roster that had almost no experience in an international tournament, and if they did, were just used as substitutes or guys in friendlies or qualifier games. They weren't the guys that you brought as your starting 11. And what happened in the penalty shots versus Germany? If we actually had players that were serious enough to be like, keep a cool head, don't get stupid, just take your shot and that's it, we could have easily beaten Germany in that game. Like we lost because Zaza and Pelé made idiotic decisions, and they made those idiotic decisions because, like I said, these are guys that were not the main guys that have been in tournaments before, and that's the only worry I have going into this. I know that these other players are not guys like Pelé or that. Well, I'll leave Zaza on the side. The poor guy. He wasn't. They brought him on cold. He didn't even got a touch of the ball, and it's kind of hard to take a shot like that. But Pelé with that whole he does the
twinkle toes.
He does the whole spoon symbol and then just messes up badly. Like, no, I don't give him forgiveness for that. I don't think anybody's that bad in terms of attitude on our team. I think the kids are great. They're smart. They have a chip on their shoulder. They know that they missed out on a big tournament in 2018. They know that they had that experience robbed from them. And I think that they're going to be hungry for this. We got a question from Billy at the Couch saying, what player is Tdot selling the most jerseys of? So what player do you think you sell the most of right now?
Right now, Insigne and Chiesa.
Insigne and Chiesa. There you go.
It's actually crazy how the support of the Juventini, just even if let's say Chiesa doesn't start, they love their team so much that they have to put Chiesa on their jersey, right? It's crazy. But I am sold out of Barelas though. But I didn't order enough, so we're ordering some more in. But right now we're at it's Chiesa and Insigne, Verratti. I've actually sold some Pellegrinis to the Roma fans that are standing behind their Pellegrinis.
and I know our boy Jerry Mancini came and got a lot. I don't know if he got the Immobile Lazio one or Immobile Azzurri one, but he definitely says hi, and he supports you as well. So if there's any Immobiles coming out of Tdot, it's definitely going to Jerry Mancini's doorstep. I can guarantee you that.
Yeah, we ordered in some Immobiles, so we should have them on the weekend. If he scores, it's gonna go crazy.
Exactly. But going back to the Italy final, like going to all the way to the finals and winning the whole thing. Again, guys, I still think it's possible. Like I would take being wrong any day of the week. Twice on Sunday if it means Italy is going to win the Euro. I have no problem with that. But again, it's going to be tough, like you guys mentioned. I think there are some tough nations out there. But again, I think anything can happen, and in these tournaments, it takes a bit of luck. It takes a bit of firepower from the squad and unity, which I do think we have a lot of. So again, guys, fingers crossed for the Euros and for Italy's sake of maybe winning the whole thing. Again, we'll stay optimistic, and no matter what, I think we'll be behind the Azzurri, no matter where they finish. Again, it will be embarrassing and a failure if they don't get out of the group stage or around the 16. But I think we'll eventually turn the page and we'll be back behind the Azzurri. And Ange, I think just before we let you go, I think we got a question from our third co-host, Nick, who couldn't unfortunately be here on tonight. He's like, I think it was when Italy win the Euros, where would you rather be on St. Clair Street or on St. Laurent here in Montreal? What's your answer to that?
St. Clair, because I live on St. Clair.
So I knew that was going to be a good question.
Yeah, but I would,
So
I would love to experience it though. There, right? It would be cool to experience the game.
I mean, yeah, definitely. Like, I was always been curious about it too, because Toronto does have way more Italians than we have here in Montreal. Like it's like I think it's like twice the amount.
It's a bigger city.
Well, it is a bigger city, so but it's about almost the same percentage or same ratio. But I would love to experience that just because it's a different environment. Like I'm not gonna lie, Saint Laurent went back in 06 was amazing. Actually, one of my favorite times to be on Saint Laurent was in 12 when we beat England in penalty shots. Like we flooded the streets so much that we actually blocked the buses that were trying to go through on that street.
That's funny.
It's crazy.
I'm just curious to see in Toronto where they'll be celebrating, because a lot of Italians have moved up north, and I don't know if St. Clair would still be the spot, right? But I know Woodbridge definitely is crazy. We got all our flags up, hood covers, everybody's ready to go.
So what's the vibe like? Like when Italy plays or when they win? Like is it crazy? Because like we know about like here in Montreal. Like what's the vibe out in Toronto?
Yeah, right now it's craziness. Everybody's going crazy. Can't wait for the first game. Yeah, for sure. Especially now that they opened up everything. We're as of Friday we're at 15-20% capacity. So patios are finally opening up and everybody's getting ready.
Okay. Well, I'm going to be biased and say Saint Laurent Street over St. Clair. Again, I would love to experience in Toronto as well. Don't get me wrong. And wherever all the Italians meet up, we know we've made many connections. Out in Toronto, a lot of Toronto Italians out there. We'd love to definitely meet up one day, but I'm going to stick true to our roots here in Montreal and say Saint Laurent Street. Our little Italy is crazy when the Azzurri play as well. So I'm going to stick to our guns there. But I guess, guys, I think that'll do it to wrap up. Our last show before Friday's game. We're super pumped. We're super excited. I know Ange as well. He's definitely a busy guy. We can't thank you enough, Ange, from us, myself, Johnny.
Thank you, guys.
And our other co-host Nick, who couldn't be here tonight. We definitely do appreciate you taking the time to work around your busy schedule. You're still working hard, so we do appreciate it. And
yeah, I'm working for the community. I want everybody to have their jerseys on time for Friday, so I'm ready to wear them.
So we do appreciate you. Like I said, taking the time. You didn't have to say yes, but you did. And I think it speaks volumes, not only about you, but about the Italian community and coming together as Italian Canadians. But Ange, anything you want to plug, anything you want to mention, the floor is yours, my man.
Yeah, I appreciate you guys having me on the show, and pretty much for us, we got to go all the way to the end.
Where can anybody follow you if anybody wants to follow your page and anything you do and everything?
Yeah, at Tdot Italians, you can follow us. And if anyone's watching from Toronto, Woodbridge, Ontario, come visit us at our shop. We got all the merchandise here for the FIGC, Azzurri for the whole tournament. All the official name and numbers. Abbiamo tutte cose qua.
What's the address if you want to plug the address if anybody's listening?
28 Roytech, Unit 12B, Woodbridge, Ontario.
There you have it, guys. So definitely if you're in Toronto, you know where to get your stuff, your Azzurri stuff to prepare for the Euros. And just working extra hard. As you can see here, if anybody's watching on YouTube or the replay of this, Ange has been working all throughout our broadcast. So bear with us with any noise or any pressing, anything. It's fine. We don't care. Ange has been a great guy on tonight. There it is. So where you guys can follow us, we say it every week at The Culture Guys on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube, as you can see here. Follow us on those platforms and catch our podcast, on all your favorite podcasting platforms. If it's Spotify, Google Podcast, Apple Podcast, whatever it is, go follow us, subscribe, share, give us a like, and we'll be back. We'll be back very, very soon we have something hopefully planned for Friday's game. We'll probably all be together watching the game here in Montreal. So definitely keep your eyes out on our social media platforms to see what we'll be up to during Euro 2020. So again, Ange, thank you so much for joining our broadcast, our live broadcast here on YouTube. And I guess we can all come together and say Forza Italia. So again, guys, thank you so much.
Forza Italia. Thank you, guys.
Bye.
Ciao, ciao, ciao. How do you end this thing now? Do we just click? Wait, Ange, give us a second. How do you end this, Ja?
Just press the live button, or probably just press the
Fuck me,
show button. Come on. Great way to end the show.